Let's talk about conflict in this movie. I was shocked as I was watching this film from the beginning of when it was introduced to the very end about how overt it was in its parallels to real life conflict zones in the world. There are multiple ones you could draw allusions and parallels to, but the most obvious one to me was the situation in Palestine and Gaza. There were also some elements of Ukraine, Russia, some elements even of India, Pakistan, and Kashmir. But the Gaza one was very overt to me. Other people have said this, but I had no idea about this really going in. So I was very shocked by how far they went. I kept on thinking, how did Warner Brothers agree to let James Gunn do this? Because when it comes to talking about major conflicts around the world, even mid-sized movies sometimes are a bit tiptoey around it. Very, very, very big mainstream appeal popcorn movies typically simplify things down to evil man bad, good guy
Mm,
good. They I
mm,
don't typically see them try to zoom in on certain kind of hotbed zones of the planet, use
mhm.
certain kinds of aesthetics, use certain kind of militarized zones in such an overt way that they know that the audience will immediately draw lines to real thing. There is a scene where the Boravian military is starting to invade on land on Jarhanpur's territory. And you literally see them dressed in their army uniform with the flag of Boravia on their arm. And you see the shaken Jarhanpurian citizens, many of them with very primitive weapons and tools. And you see a little boy in almost in rags in this sandy background holding up a flag. And I was like, this is one of the most unambiguous depictions of the conflict in Gaza I have seen in mainstream pop culture in my entire adult life.
Yeah, so I would echo that. I was shocked to see how explicit they were being, but it did fall short to me. And the reason why is because I think the name is Jaranpur, right? It sounds South Asian. It doesn't necessarily sound Middle Eastern. So even that's a choice, right? Because you could have easily gone there and picked something that sounds a bit more Middle Eastern. So they are doing the tiptoe thing. And more importantly, I think one of the more egregious cases of tiptoeing is that this movie positions the ultimate power with Lex Luthor, right? And maybe who knows? Maybe they're making a commentary that actually billionaires are the ones who run everything, and governments are almost answering to the billionaires, right? But at the end of the day, in real life, with what's going on in Gaza, with what's going on in Ukraine, with what's going on in India, Pakistan, Cyprus, North Cyprus, list goes on. It is the governments, it's the Western governments that are involved with allowing for this sort of thing to happen. I understand that their core base is an American audience. I don't think the American mainstream audience is ready yet to have their military complex be critiqued on such a severe level on such a big platform. Um, that's what I'm saying. That I can't say with confidence that this is a proper critique of what's happening in Gaza because of the refusal to call out the United States government. And for me, that is solidified in the end when again we see the United States military institution be the one to come and save the people who are imprisoned and that sort of thing. So it falls one step short to me.
That's the note Warner Brothers gave maybe with the first draft. They were like, you know what, we'll let you do this, but the US still has to come and save the day at the end of the day. I think I'll give it more credit than you are giving because again, this is the furthest I've ever seen it go.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
just
I get that.
the bar is so low that this is actually still the furthest I've seen it go. I watch
Mm-hmm.
almost every big popcorn movie that ever comes. All of them always involve conflict. All of them
Mm-hmm.
always involve war. All of them always involve weaponry. And I've never seen it get this close to
Mm-hmm.
establishing the specific human rights violations that are happening to people that might look like the people that a lot of Americans see demonized on TV all the time to this level. The bar is low, you're right. They still cleared it higher than I've seen it cleared before at this level. Now, with your comment that basically the movie still refuses to allow the United States as a state be complicit in this,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't fully say that because there are scenes where Lex Luthor is hanging out with the Secretary of Defense. They know what he's up to. They know what he's doing.
Towards the end, they say they don't. Yeah.
They swooping at the end after the media has turned on him to save the day and arrest him, but they knew what he was up to. And I don't think that is completely dissimilar for what happens in real life either. Like, if you think about what's going on currently with the current richest man in the world, who is currently beefing with the president of the United States, after this same president's administration invited him to come and got the federal government, and then they got into a tussle over the credits and allowances he used to get for his corporation, and that's what led to their breakup. And now suddenly the state or the president or the administration is calling out the allowances that they had given to this same guy. I think this happens in real life.
But I think this helps me to solidify one of my issues with this movie and why I can't give it the full credit that people are giving it for being this radical movie, right? Because basically, according to this movie, if the inner workings of the military agreement between Israel and the United States and other governments was exposed, then that would be the end of the attack on Gaza, because according to this movie, it's just a lack of information. We have the information. We know what is going on. There are people documenting it day by day in Palestine, right?
Netanyahu literally allowed the ceasefire to start after the US election results came out.
So there is no expose that's needed. We have all the information. So that's what I'm saying, that this movie presents a solution to a fake problem because it's not actually willing to go there. It's still holding itself back. It's still restraining itself. And it was bugging me. But I understand why they have to do it. At the end of the day, it's a superhero movie. This is targeting an American base. They can't go around talking about how you have a tyrannical government.